let's talk about the practice. What are the hard monetary benefits to the practices that allow pets that are insured to come for services?
Certainly. So, I think the obvious is that with increased compliance, they're coming to the hospital ultimately, then that's going to, go to your bottom line and increase your revenue. Beyond that, though, and I think this is way more important, we are going to see that the veterinary profession as a whole become healthier, both mentally and physically because of it. We have a very high turnover rate, low retention, and regrettably an increased suicide rate in the veterinary profession. And so what I have seen and what you have all both reflected on as well is that when you can go in that room and take that away and then know that you are able to provide the best recommendation and that client can accept it, and then you both are working towards helping that pet, which is what we all got into this for, and to really honor that human-animal bond. When we can do that more consistently, then that just brings that job satisfaction, that reward. So we can drive down turnover and increase retention, which ultimately absolutely affects the bottom line of a veterinary business. And then just improves the health and wealth of the veterinary profession, which is an amazing one.
How does having pet insurance improve the veterinarian client-patient relationship?
Well, I think it's a lot what you said. I mean, I have an opportunity in my capacity to visit practices all over the country. And there are some parts of the country that are very poor. And I'm telling you, I'll spend the day at the practice, and every single client interaction is a monetary issue. Every single one. And it is emotionally debilitating for all of those team members there. So, we talk about growing the bottom line, and you have a lot of veterinary professionals that are not willing to recommend services and products because they know out of the gate that it's not going to be possible for those pet owners to pay for them. I was in practice in New Brunswick in Canada once, and I was talking to the team about how to improve their dental compliance, and I'm getting the old head nod, and I could tell, and I could tell that this team was not picking up on, they weren't drinking the Kool-Aid. And so finally, this one veterinarian, she's down in the front row, and when I asked if there were any reservations about this, she raised her hand, and she said, I don't know if I can recommend dentistry to my clients. And I thought, finally, we're getting to why. And I said, why? And she goes, well, my kids go to school with the children of the pet owners, and I know that those children are wearing coats from Goodwill. So I don't know how, in good consciousness, I can make a recommendation for a dental service that I know is going to cost $600 or $700 when these people's children are buying their clothes at Goodwill. I mean, that is an excellent point. And if that's what that poor person is, and all those other people working at that practice are enduring every day, that is extremely debilitating to them. So if we can take that money thing out of the room, I say it over and over again, everybody's life improves. That's when we, as you pointed out, we get to really enjoy what we do. Yeah.
So you've kind of covered this already, but if we had a higher rate of insured pets, would that impact the amount of compassion fatigue we see in our profession?
I definitely think that compassion fatigue would be reduced in our industry if we didn't have to worry so much about money, and that veterinary professionals weren't often labeled, as we unjustly are, as all about money and our pricing is unfair, or that we don't have any heart. I mean, that kind of to be called those kind of things is just so terrible, given how giving most veterinary professionals are, right?
Absolutely.
And so to be labeled, in addition to all the charity and all the good work we do, then they're slamming us with this thing like that you're greedy and all you care about is money. It's terrible. So yes, it'd be great to have all that taken off our shoulders.